Okay, welcome back. Today, we're going to do something a little different. Instead of just answering a GCSE maths question, we are going to absolutely crack it wide open. We're going to use the examiner's own playbook to build the perfect 4-mark answer from scratch.
So here it is, question 5. Sophie's driving 513 kilometers in France, and she's paying 0.81 euros for every 10 kilometers. Our job? Estimate the total cost. And you see that right there in the brackets, 4 marks. That is a massive amount of credit for one estimation question. And trust me, we're going to get every single one.
So, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you go from just getting an answer to actually guaranteeing you get all the marks available? It's not really about being a math genius. It's about understanding the game you're playing.
And here's the secret weapon, the official mark scheme. This thing isn't just for teachers to grade papers. Oh, no. It is the exact instruction manual the examiners are following. If we can figure out what it wants, we can give them exactly that. It's our guide to a perfect score.
All right, so first things first, what's our mission? The keyword here is estimate. We need to estimate the total cost. You got to remember, this is a non-calculator paper. They're not expecting you to do crazy multiplication. They're testing a completely different skill.
So what's the crucial info we need to pull out? We've got the distance, 513 kilometers. We have the cost, 0.81 euros. And then there's the rate. And this is a classic way to trip people up. It's per 10 kilometers, not per 1. Our job is to estimate, and the prize is 4 big marks. Every single one of these pieces matters. Okay, let's start banking those marks, shall we? The very first one is what the mark scheme calls a P1 mark. That just stands for a process mark. You get this mark just for starting the process of estimation in the right way. And just look at how specific this is. The mark scheme doesn't just say, round the numbers. No. It specifically asks for a value rounded to 1 SF. That's one significant figure. Forgetting this is a super common mistake. This is the first part of the code we need to crack. So let's actually do it. We take 513 kilometers. The first significant figure is the 5. We look at the digit right next to it, which is a 1, and that tells us to round down. So 513 becomes 500. Same deal for 0.81 euros. The first significant figure is the 8. The next digit is a 1, so we round down again to 0.8. Just by writing that down, you've already earned your first mark. Simple as that. All right, mark 1 is in the bag. The second mark is another P1, another process mark. Now that we have our nice, sensible, rounded numbers, we need to show the examiner that we actually know what to do with them to solve the problem. And this just spells it out perfectly, doesn't it? The examiner is looking for a full process. Using our rounded numbers, it's got to look like this. 500 divided by 10, and then you take that answer and multiply it by 0.8. You have to show this structure. So let's just break that down. Why are we dividing by 10? Well, it's simple, right? The cost is per 10 kilometers. So 500 divided by 10 tells us how many of those 10-kilometer blocks she actually drove, which is 50. Then for step 2, we know each of those 50 blocks cost our estimated 0.8 euros. So we just multiply 50 by 0.8. You show that complete chain of logic, and bang, that is your second mark secured. We are on a roll. The third mark is an A1 mark, which stands for accuracy. This one's pretty straightforward. You get it for actually doing the math correctly and getting the right number. So what is 50 times 0.8? Well, here's a super quick way to do it in your head. Just ignore the decimal for a second. What's 50 times 8? Easy, that's 400. Now, because we were actually multiplying by 0.8, not 8, we just have to move the decimal point one place, or, divide by 10. So 400 becomes 40. Write down 40 euros, and that's your third mark in the bag. Now for the final piece of this puzzle, and honestly, this is the mark that so many people just leave behind. It's the C1 or communication mark. This isn't about calculation at all, it's about explaining yourself. See how the question asks, is your answer an underestimate or an overestimate? Give a reason. And the mark scheme is crystal clear about this. It's looking for a statement followed by a reason. And that reason is tied directly to what you did way back at the beginning when you rounded your numbers. So how do you figure this out? It's easy. Just look back at your very first step. What did we do with the number 513? We rounded it down to 500. And what about 0.81? We rounded that down to 0.8 as well. So just think about it logically. We made the distance smaller, and we made the cost for that distance smaller. Since both of the numbers we used in our sum were smaller than the real numbers, our final answer has to be smaller than the real answer would be. That means it's an underestimate. That one simple sentence is all the examiner needs to see.
Okay then, we have collected all 4 keys to this puzzle. We know exactly what to do for the estimate, for the process, for the final answer, and for the justification. So now, let's put it all together into the perfect answer that you would actually write on your exam paper. And there you have it. This, right here, is exactly what a perfect 4-mark answer looks like. You show your rounding nice and clear, you show your full step-by-step process, you state your final answer, and you write a simple, direct sentence for your reason. There's no way they can't give you the marks. It's a watertight 4 out of 4 answer every single time.
So there you go. The real takeaway here isn't just how to answer this one specific question, it's the method. It's about looking for the clues in the question and in the mark scheme. So my question to you is, now that you know the code, how many other questions are you going to be able to apply this to? How many more marks are you going to unlock just by thinking like an examiner?